Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about how to turn your setbacks into content. When I was praying about what to talk about, I just kept saying, Lord, use me. And He did, just not in the way that I would have liked. But I've always been one to think, Lord, what are you teaching me in this moment instead of why is this happening to me? And so, all of that to say, this past week I have had lots of learning moments that really stunk, and with that, I had lots of opportunity to pray and kind of form a different perspective. And so, with all of that came tonight's Monday night meetup. So we've all had like Facebook posts, reels, all of that flop. We've all had customers quit. We've all had people say no. And the difference between people who grow and people who quit is what they do with those moments. And so this week, I have learned that every setback gives us some information. So, a little story time. My husband's aunt ordered from me in April, and she was so excited to do the GLP-1 system. I was excited that she was ordering from me because nobody in our family really supports or like orders. And so I made sure to do all the things to make sure that she was happy. I followed up with her. We fixed several issues that she was having. And last I heard, she was completely in love with it. She was excited. She was happy with everything, her results, cravings, everything. And so, fast forward to this past week, I noticed her sub was not running. And so, I followed up with her, and she responded with that she terminated her account because she wasn't losing weight fast enough and that she needed something stronger. And so, instantly, I felt super deflated. I took it very personally. And I'm going to be honest, my first reaction was anger. But after sitting with it, I remember Amanda saying on one of her calls that she did that she had prayed to not to take things personally, not to take no personally. And so that was something that I did in that moment. I prayed that the Lord would use me for this specific moment for his glory. And he did. That moment, along with several others this week, sorry, my phone. Helped me go back to square one. And so, as a teacher, I always go into each lesson acting like my students don't know it. Some do and some don't, but I can't assume that they do know the information, or I would be missing a learning moment for the ones that don't know it. And so, I have to use that same approach with social media. And so, with this space. And so, I revamped my outlook on social media. And so, I started to think that I kind of have to assume that nobody on my socials or in my messages, everybody that I talk to, that they don't know about gut health, because there was a time that I didn't know about gut health either. And so this may already be a thing in the social media world, but I just tried to back it up and start fresh with my thinking. And then came the four E's or five E's of social media. So educate, emotions, experience, engage, and encourage. So when I am creating educate content, the goal isn't just gut health matters. It's truly helping people understand the why behind healthy habits. People tend to trust and engage more when they understand about what's happening instead of only hearing the benefits. And so trying to help them understand the why behind it. And right now, gut health and probiotics, all of that are huge buzzwords. And so educating them on gut
What
health
is this,
actually,
anti-diabetes?
gut health
Health
actually is
shit.
and why it matters is so important. So many people hear the phrase gut health, but they don't really know how that connects to everyday life. So this is kind of our chance to educate them. And so instead of saying gut health matters, try teaching them what gut health actually does. Instead of saying this helps cravings, try to teach them why do cravings happen. Instead of this balances blood sugar, why do we need our why do we need to balance our blood sugar? And then it takes time healing your gut. Teach them why does it take time to heal our gut. And so education builds confidence, and then confidence builds trust. Trust builds relationships, and relationships build customers. The next two kind of go hand in hand, emotions and experience. People remember how you made them feel. People want to feel seen, and people buy from people that they trust. Trust is built through emotion. And so, one way we can do that is we can be relatable. People don't need another influencer. We are not influencers. People need someone who is real and who they can relate to. And so just share your experience with them. For me, my experience would be my energy. That's my story. Jill talks about that all the time. Stick to your same story. She talks about hers all the time. For me, mine is energy. My experience before Plexus was I was a couch potato mom, had zero energy. My experience after Plexus was my energy was fixed. And so just sharing your experience with them with emotion is very powerful. And so instead of posting Slim is 10% off this month, tell a story that helps with people and like bring in that emotion. So you can write a story. I remember feeling so defeated as a mom because I was exhausted all the time. I thought being a mom was supposed to feel that way. Looking back, I wish someone had told me that what my gut health mattered and that feeling that way was not normal. And then instead of posting, this gave me energy, show a picture of you and your kid or you playing with your kids. Like for me, I like to go swimming with my kids. So I could say, I used to be too tired to get off the couch, and today I didn't think twice about it. So now people feel something. People are more invested in Plexus because of your experience, and you didn't even mention Plexus at all. People are automatically invested because you are sharing an experience with them, you're speaking to their emotions, and you're reeling them in without even mentioning anything about Plexus. The third E is engage. I like to, as I'm scrolling on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it may be, I like to always engage in people's content, people's posts before I reach out to them. That just builds a connection with them. Liking their stuff, swiping up on stories, just bringing conversations into your messages and not automatically bringing up Plexus, bringing in that trust. One thing that I have learned is if you are posting and then getting right out of the app, you are missing the whole point with the engagement. Engage with others, and others will engage with you. The algorithm can actually track if you are engaging or not, and it rewards you when you engage with consistently with different people. One way that I love to do this is I do polls on my stories. I ask questions like, um, coffee or energy drink, what's one symptom you thought was normal? Who else crashes at 2 p.m.? For my teacher friends, whenever you go back, you can say like, rate your energy today? Um, and then making a story using just different scenarios. Like I'm making my pink drink an active. Who else has a daily non-negotiable? You can answer every response, everyone that votes, start a conversation, and not just introduce them to Plexus, but just actually converse with them, build that connection, engage with them. I also did non-Plexus stuff a couple weeks ago. I did the guess how many things I bought on Amazon Prime Day, and I had so many people engage in that don't engage in my Plexus stuff. And so just keeping it Plexus and non-Plexus is helpful with that too. The fourth E is encourage. Jane talked about this a couple weeks ago on her call. There's so much negativity online lately that this is our chance to be the light, be the hope for people, be the person reminding others that they aren't stuck and that we have answers for them. Instead of, hey, biplex this, you can say that if you've been feeling exhausted, don't lose hope. Mama, I was once you too. This hits emotion, this hits encouragement, and it can lead into education. I always think about encouraging different moms or different people in different seasons, moms in different seasons, moms that are overwhelmed, encourage consistency, encourage healthy habits, encourage teachers who are burnt out, teachers going back to school, encourage them because they're going to be on zero energy. Encourage women who feel invisible and they just need that community. I've had so many people reach out to me just this month about they want to join Plexus just for the community. And so I feel like that's such a common thing nowadays that people just they feel invisible and they need that encouragement. People remember who made them feel seen and who gave them hope, especially in a season that is just really down. And I feel like I'm not the only one that has gone through all of these things. I'm not the only one thinking, like, I don't know what to post. I need more content ideas. One thing that I've learned is our inbox is full of content ideas. That one objection that I got from my husband's aunt, that got me talking about five different kind of content posts. And so that helped me try to figure out a way to do education on my content of why healing comes before the weight loss. What to expect in your first 30 days of trying Plexus, why consistency matters whenever you do our products, why we are a gut health company, and how expectations can affect your results. And so I know we do this in conversation with potential customers, but it can also help with those silent watchers that never engage in our content. And in doing this, I'm going deeper in my content. I'm educating my viewers. I'm speaking to their emotions with my experiences, and I'm encouraging them along the whole way. But I'm also being real and I'm showing I'm not perfect. I'm showing that I'm a real person and I feel these things too. And it just kind of brings it all a full circle moment. So that's all I have. Does anybody have anything? I'm going to read the chat. So if y'all just stay or leave, you're good.
Hey, something I thought of just as you were talking, when you were talking about like every objection, check your inbox, this and that. We hear all the time, right? Like, don't speak to everyone, you're speaking to the one.
Hmm.
And so that's an opportunity for you to do like targeted posting
Yes.
too. So,
Good.
yeah, it's good. That's good stuff.
I have a question about how you plan your social media. Like, do you do it like a week at the time, or how do you go about that?
I plan it like during the week. I'll just like have an idea and I have a notes in my phone and I just like type it out. And then Sundays I schedule all my posts. And so that has helped me not get bogged down in the busyness of the week.
I think we talked about this maybe today. We were talking about your social media. When do you, and other people might be feeling this, do you, like you said, you are posting it on Sundays. So when are you gathering your content? I guess you're just like videoing yourself kind
Mhm.
of through the day or snapping pictures of like you and the girls and things like that.
Yeah. So sometimes I'll just like I always try to have backup like
Hmm.
videos and pictures that way if I'm like I really have no idea what to post, I can go through and like create a reel really fast. Or um whenever I'm like scrolling Facebook, if I see a good post from like another Plexus person, I will save it and then like alter it with my own words, but just using like some of their ideas but with my words, if that makes sense. And so I just kind of gather stuff throughout the week and then I write it on my y'all know I'm a planner freak and so I write it down and then I just plan it. Things just come to my head like in the most random times and I'm like, "Oh, that would make good content." And I'll just write it down really fast.
Well, from where I stand, you thrive at socials.
Well,
So,
thank you, thank you.
I'll also say that, like, don't just, this is going to be horrible, but don't just follow the Plexus people to get content ideas because some of the other network marketing people have really good content. And I'm like, I'm saving that and I'm stealing your content. Thank you. Like, I'll remake it in a Plexus one, but they have really good stuff. And I'm like, oh, I like that. I'm going to do that. And like, it doesn't have to be just network marketing. Like if you have a favorite influencer, like it's okay to follow other people. So watch them, see what they do, what works for them, what doesn't. Like obviously be yourself because someone's gonna know if you're not being genuine. But like steal the content, girl. Steal the content.
Well, like I come up with like I'll still not still, I'll take their ideas and then just kind of like reword it to make it match me or like tweak it a little bit. All right. Thank y'all for hopping on. Sorry about the technological, you know. All right, friends. Y'all have a good Monday.